The year was 1939. Europe teetered on the precipice of war. The air was thick with tension, and the world braced for the inevitable conflict that would soon engulf it. Yet, in the small Italian town of Correggio, a different kind of darkness was unfolding. It was a darkness that would leave an indelible mark on the town's history. Leonarda Cianciulli, a seemingly ordinary housewife, was about to etch her name in the annals of criminal history. Her outward appearance gave no hint of the horrors she would soon unleash. Behind the facade of her unassuming home, Cianciulli brewed a macabre plan, fueled by superstition and a twisted maternal devotion. She believed that human sacrifices were necessary to protect her family. She would become known as the soap maker of Correggio, her name forever entwined with the gruesome fate she met out to her victims. Her methods were as shocking as they were grotesque. Cianciulli's crimes, shrouded in an unsettling blend of the ordinary and the grotesque, sent shockwaves through Italy. The nation was horrified by the revelations that emerged. The details, once revealed, would paint a horrifying picture. Her victims were lured into her home, never to be seen again. She had not only taken lives but desecrated them, transforming flesh and bone into chilling mementos. The sheer brutality of her actions was almost beyond comprehension. The world gasped at the depravity, wondering what could drive a seemingly ordinary woman to such horrific acts. The story of Leonarda Cianciulli remains one of the most disturbing chapters in the annals of true crime. Leonarda Cianciulli was a woman of contradictions. Born into poverty, she craved security and respectability. Married young, she longed for the stability of family life, yet tragedy seemed to follow her. Several of her children died in infancy or early childhood. Each loss chipped away at her sanity, pushing her further into the embrace of superstition. She sought solace in fortune tellers, their pronouncements fueling her growing paranoia. Cianciulli became fixated on protecting her remaining children, particularly her eldest son, Giuseppe. He was her world, her everything. When war loomed, threatening to tear him away, she became consumed by a fear that bordered on madness. It was this desperate, all-consuming love that would ultimately drive her to commit unspeakable acts. Cianciulli's world was one of whispers and shadows, where ancient superstitions held sway. She believed in the power of the evil eye, in curses and charms. Her home became a haven for the occult, filled with strange trinkets and books on black magic. She consulted fortune tellers with increasing frequency, hanging on their every word. It was one such reading that would plant the seeds of her horrifying plan. The fortune teller, it is said, warned Cianciulli of a terrible fate awaiting her son. To protect him, she would need to make a sacrifice, an offering of human blood and bone. Cianciulli, her mind already teetering on the edge, latched onto these words with grim determination. She would become a dark priestess, offering up lives to appease the fates and ensure her son's safety. Cianciulli's first victim was Faustina Setti, a lonely spinster who had come to her seeking help finding a husband. Setti, desperate for companionship, was easily ensnared by Cianciulli's cunning. Cianciulli, with practiced ease, spun a web of lies. She was a master manipulator, skilled in the art of deception. She promised to introduce Setti to a wealthy suitor in a distant city. The promise of a new life was too tempting for Setti to resist. All Setti needed to do was prepare for her journey. She packed her belongings with a heart full of hope and anticipation. This preparation, Cianciulli insisted, involved a ritual, a letter to be written and sent to a faraway church. The letter was meant to inform her family of her safe arrival. Blinded by hope and naive trust, Setti agreed. She believed every word Cianciulli said, never doubting her intentions. She arrived at Cianciulli's home on the appointed day, dressed in her finest clothes, clutching the letter that sealed her fate. Her heart was filled with hope and excitement. Cianciulli offered her drugged wine, a final act of kindness before the horror began. The wine was laced with a powerful sedative. As Setti slipped into unconsciousness, Cianciulli prepared her gruesome work. The room grew eerily silent as Setti's body went limp. Her heart, she would later claim, did not tremble. Cianciulli believed she was fulfilling a higher purpose. She was acting on divine instruction, sacrificing one life to save another. In her twisted mind, this was a necessary evil. Section 5. The Gruesome Transformation. With chilling practicality, Cianciulli set about disposing of Seti's body. She dismembered the remains, her movements honed by a lifetime of butchering livestock. The flesh, she claimed, was rendered down in a large pot, boiled for hours until it dissolved into a gruesome, gelatinous mass. This she mixed with lye and moulded into bars, creating a substance that resembled soap. The blood, too, was not wasted. Cianciulli mixed it with flour, sugar and other ingredients, baking it into dark, brittle cookies. These, she would later confess, she consumed herself, a ritualistic act of communion with her victim. Nothing, it seemed, would be wasted. Every part of Seti's body, transformed and repurposed, served as a macabre testament to Cianciulli's chilling pragmatism. Emboldened by her success, Cianciulli sought out her next victim. Francesca Soavi, a former opera singer, became her target. Like Seti, Soavi was alone, desperate for a change in fortune. Cianciulli, sensing her vulnerability, offered a solution: a teaching position at a prestigious school in another city. Again there was a ritual, a letter to be written, a journey to be prepared for. Soavi, blinded by the allure of a brighter future, fell into the trap. She arrived at Cianciulli's home, her meagre possessions packed, ready to start a new life. She drank the drugged wine offered by her seemingly benevolent benefactor, unaware that she was sealing her own fate. Cianciulli, with chilling detachment, repeated her gruesome work, transforming Soavi's body into soap and cookies, her soul another offering to the dark forces she believed protected her son. Virginia Cacioppo, a renowned soprano, was Cianciulli's final victim. Cianciulli, her mind warped by her twisted sense of purpose, believed that Cacioppo's powerful voice held a magical potency. By consuming her, she could somehow absorb this power, further strengthening the protection around her son. Again, Cianciulli spun a tale of opportunity, promising Cacioppo a lucrative contract with a travelling opera company. Cacioppo, captivated by the prospect of reviving her fading career, fell prey to Cianciulli's deception. She arrived at the House of Horrors, her voice stilled forever by the drugged wine. Cianciulli, with practiced efficiency, carried out her grim ritual, her actions fueled by a chilling blend of superstition and maternal fervour. Cacioppo's remains met the same fate as her predecessors, transformed into grotesque keepsakes. Cianciulli's reign of terror, however, was about to end. Cacioppo's sister, suspicious of her sudden disappearance, reported her missing. The investigation led the police to Cianciulli's doorstep. The stench of death, clinging faintly to the air, betrayed her crimes. Inside, they discovered a scene of unimaginable horror. Human remains in various stages of decomposition littered the house. Pots still held the remnants of her gruesome work. Cianciulli, confronted with the evidence, did not deny her crimes. Instead, she confessed in lurid detail, her words sending chills down the spines of even the most hardened investigators. She spoke of her rituals, her belief in their necessity, her conviction that she had acted to save her son. Her chilling composure, her utter lack of remorse, only added to the horror of her crimes. Cianciulli's trial was a media sensation, drawing crowds from all over the country. The courtroom was packed with curious onlookers, eager to catch a glimpse of the woman behind the gruesome crimes. The soap maker of Correggio, as she became known, captivated and horrified the world. Her stories spread like wildfire, with newspapers and radio broadcasts detailing every chilling aspect of her deeds. She was found guilty and sentenced to 30 years in prison. The judge's gavel struck with finality, sealing her fate and bringing a sense of closure to the horrified public. Even behind bars, she continued to weave her macabre tales, writing her memoirs. Her writings provided a glimpse into her twisted mind, revealing the dark motivations behind her actions, and even selling a set of supposedly cursed cooking utensils to curious onlookers. These items became morbid curiosities, drawing the attention of those fascinated by her dark legacy. Leonarda Cianciulli died in prison in 1970, her life ending in the same confinement that had defined her final years, her name forever etched in the annals of true crime. Her story has been retold in books, documentaries, and even museum exhibits, ensuring that her dark legacy endures. Her story stands as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of the ordinary, a stark warning that evil can reside in the most unexpected places, and the terrifying lengths to which a mother's love can twist when consumed by fear and superstition. Her actions were driven by a desperate desire to protect her own children, leading her down a path of unimaginable horror. And so, the legend of the soap maker of Correggio lives on, a story that continues to fascinate and horrify in equal measure. A haunting tale, whispered in hushed tones, passed down through generations as a macabre cautionary tale. A chilling reminder of the fragility of sanity and how easily it can be shattered by fear and obsession, and the monstrous potential that lies dormant within the human heart, waiting for the right moment to emerge.